Top 10 Biggest Ezra Miller Red Flags We Should Have Noticed Part 2. Okay, it's official. We need to talk about Ezra. If you think you know all the crazy allegations against him at the moment, there's a lot more that we've just uncovered. Hi, I'm your host Bridget Shields, and let's get into it. Number 10. Trouble on the set of The Flash. A new report reveals that Ezra had frequent meltdowns on the Flash movie set. Those sources state that they were not violent outbursts. Miller had their debut in the DC Extended Universe with Justice League as Barry Allen, the speedy superhero living in Central City, who was enlisted by Ben Affleck's Batman to join a super team and face off against Steppenwolf. The star continues to be the center of controversy as Ezra reportedly had frequent meltdowns on the set of The Flash. Sources on the set noted that this behavior didn't result in any vocal or violent outbursts from the star, but rather periods in which Ezra was losing it. An anonymous source close to the star said, quote, Ezra would get a thought in his head and say, I don't know what I'm doing. The report also revealed that Warner Brothers and DC executives recently held an emergency meeting to discuss Ezra's future as the Flash in the DCEU, with one source stating that there was an agreement to pause any future projects involving the version of their superhero. Number 9. Police body cam footage. Hawaii Police Assistant Chief Kenneth Kyosho said that Ezra had been the source of 10 police calls in Hilo since March 7th, with complaints ranging from filming people at a gas station, traffic obstruction, and refusing to leave a restaurant. But police body cam footage has surfaced online, and Ezra can be seen asking for the officers to be careful with their wrists and hands, as they are a musician and wary of potential nerve damage. Later, one of the law enforcement officers is heard calling Miller "Sir," to which they responded, quote, I'm sorry, I'm not a sir, I'm transgender non-binary, please don't call me sir. If you fail to do that again, that is an act of intentional bigotry, and started citing US federal law, while asking the police officers to identify themselves and accusing the officer of touching his private parts, saying, quote, I'm transgender, non-binary, and I don't want to be searched by a man. It was a fair request under the circumstances, but accusing the police officers of harassment only served to make Ezra look entitled, because they were the ones doing it to other people. 8. Cult-like behavior. Nothing screams red flags like a wannabe cult leader. In January, Chase Iron Eyes accompanied Ezra Miller and Gibson to Oakland, California, and claimed that the actor had also brought along 2 other young women, one known as Stella Marbles and the other Mia Solange, who would later go on to accuse them of domestic violence and psychological manipulation. But the craziest part is yet to come. While at State Park, Ezra repeatedly told Chase, who is Gibson's father, that they believed themselves to be the second coming of Jesus Christ before pulling out a firearm. This really lines up with all their other cult-like behavior, as Gibson is not the only other young person who seems to be caught in their spell. When talking about their own faith in an interview with ES Magazine in 2018, Ezra said, quote, I'd like to chill with Jesus. He seemed like a queer, radical person of color who was resisting an occupying empire. While those comments sparked a little controversy, they were mostly swept under the rug. But looking back at it, it sounds like Ezra is almost describing himself. Number 7. Viral video post. This one is certainly strange. In January this year, Ezra posted a cryptic video to social media in which the actor appears to threaten members of the KKK in North Carolina. In the video, Ezra suggested that if they want to die, they have the means to do it. Otherwise, the actor implied that they would be happy to assist them, saying, quote, then, you know, we'll do it for you if that's what you really want. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Along with the video, Miller wrote in the caption, quote, please disseminate this video to all those whom it may concern. This is not a joke, and even though I do recognize myself to be a clown, please trust me and take this seriously. During the episode, Ezra reportedly transported an unknown supply of firearms and ammunition from Vermont to North Carolina for a potential confrontation with the group. The DC superhero actor then started trending on social media, with a number of viewers taken aback by the message. We are still not sure of the underlying reason behind the message, but it's safe to say that it was extremely odd. Number 6. Concealing a Weapon. According to an interview with Gibson Iron Eyes' uncle, Lakota Chief Bearcross, that was published by Last Real Indians, Ezra Miller concealed that they were brandishing a pistol while visiting Gibson's family. The teenager they've been accused of Kidnapping. The chief said, quote, "We were posing for a photo, and after we took the photo with my family, we decided to get one with just me and Ezra. Well, Ezra just opened their big old jacket and pulled out the .40 caliber firearm. I asked if that was real and Ezra said yes. Ezra also said in Vermont, you don't need a permit to conceal." The chief said that it made him feel very unsafe because Ezra pulled it out unnoticed, and he did not know that he had a firearm. He also stressed that he would not have invited the actor into his home if he knew about this because he feared for the safety of his children. Gibson's uncle also said, just from the interactions with Ezra alone, that he felt they were dangerous and violent towards women. Honestly, if that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. Number 5. Evidence of brainwashing. On the 6th of June, an unverified Instagram account reportedly belonging to Concealing Iron Eyes posted, quote, "I'd like to make a statement to acknowledge the tragedy that is the narrative of the general public and the assumptions made on my behalf by my family and friends regarding my stability and otherwise. I dropped out of BARD 5 months ago," also adding, quote, "My comrade Ezra Miller for the entirety of the aforementioned era has only provided loving support and invaluable protection throughout this period of loss." Gibson went on to say that their father and his allegations hold no weight and are frankly transphobic. But this is the most chilling part. At the end of the message, the teenager appeared to be so brainwashed by Ezra that they now believe it's their parents who are at fault. Quote, "I am now aware of the severity of emotional and psychological manipulation I was made to endure while in my parents' home." Everything adds up when you look at the fact that the actor had been supplying Gibson with alcohol and other illicit substances since they were 14, and even paid for their private school education to give their family the feeling of being indebted to them. Number 4. Accusations of domestic violence. Ezra Miller has been accused of inflicting various abuses, ranging from physical violence to emotional manipulation, upon a former intimate partner. This claim against Miller came to light on April 1st, when a Twitter account dedicated to Ezra Miller's receipts made a number of messages public exchanged between themselves and the accuser, a young TikToker by the name of Mia Solange, where she declared that Ezra flew her from Hawaii to Oklahoma to work on a movie, and she was 19 at the time. She also sent a photo of bruises on her leg supposedly sustained from Ezra, claiming that they would aggressively bite her. Solange's claims against Miller would garner more widespread attention on April 23rd, after they shared a now deleted video montage to TikTok featuring photos of the two, most of which were previously seen in the screenshot of their camera roll, and declared, quote, "Ezra Miller's not a good human, and I can finally say so without being terrified." Number 3. Fired from The Flash. Ezra Miller's lengthy list of recent controversies has finally landed them in hot water. Now there are going to be some real consequences for their horrible behavior. Ezra is going to be entering a really challenging phase of their career because Warner Bros. And DC have decided to drop the actor from The Flash. The 29-year-old actor who helmed the character of Barry Allen in the series since 2016 appeared as a superhero in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. However, due to the actor's legal woes, the filmmakers have decided to drop them in a spin-off film. A source told Deadline, quote, "The hope is that the scandal will remain at a low level before the movie is released, and hope for the best to turn out." And in terms of Ezra's future with the studio, the insider added that there is no winning in this for Warner Brothers, and called it an inherited problem for the CEO, David Vaslav. They went on to say that the studio won't likely keep Ezra in the Flash role in future DC films, but there is still a $200 million investment on the line with the first film, and that Warner Brothers executives have to be cringing at each new press report. Number 2. Second protection order filed. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, there has officially been another allegation against Ezra Miller for the group and harassment of a minor. Last week, a mother and her 12-year-old child were granted a temporary harassment protection order against Ezra in Massachusetts after alleging the actor behaved inappropriately towards the child and also brandished a weapon in a threatening manner. The Daily Beast's investigation reported that the family was at a downstairs neighbor's house in Greenfield, Massachusetts on February the 2nd when Ezra, who was supposedly a friend of their neighbor, showed up. They were reportedly wearing a bulletproof vest and began acting erratically and opened their jacket to reveal a gun, saying, quote, "Talking like that could get you into a really serious situation," and then telling the child, quote, "You would be lucky to have a friend like me." The visiting neighbor told the outlet that Miller was especially focused on the child, allegedly pestering them with compliments, uncomfortably hugging them, and even touching their hips. The child and their mother said that Miller's strange behavior and dilated pupils made them think the actor was under the influence. And coming in at number 1, haunting the police about kidnapping. This one's about as evil as it gets. Ezra Miller taunted police on Instagram before deleting their account, as a court remains unable to locate the actor accused of being a teenage fan. The Justice League and Fantastic Beasts star posted a number of images to their Instagram stories which looked like it was meant to mock the authorities. Quote, "You cannot touch me, I am in another universe," and quote, "a message from another dimension." Although Miller's Instagram account has been deleted, screenshots of these stories have been circulating on Twitter, and it's easy to see why this is aggravating people. Miller has just about an 18-year-old indigenous Gibson, Iron Eyes, and has been creeping on them since they were 12 years old. The Standing Rock Sioux Tribal Court has issued a protective order against them, whom they accuse of using violence to hold sway over their child. In response to the police search, Miller posted, quote, "I am shielded from negative people and their ill intent. I am protected from all negative energy people attempt to throw at me. I think the only negative energy here is Ezra kidnapping and a literal teenager." What do you think about the serious allegations against Ezra Miller? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.